foreseen. There's lots of food up there. Feel free to grab some lovely lasagna and some coffee or some drinks. My name is Winnie Standish. I am the Vice President for the Family Guild, and I have the pleasure this evening of hosting you guys because Jen Coburn, our trustee president, is having fun moving today. So unless you guys want to go and help her pack some boxes, then we should probably do this. We'll have to send her some wishes later and hope that it all went well. For this evening, we're going to start by inviting Hannah Ulrich up here to read our vision, mission, and prayer.
Our mission is to support the school, engage the community, and participate in fundraising activities in support of the vision of Ridley College to inspire flourishing lives. The vision, to develop and support initiatives that enhance the student and family experience at Ridley College. And our promise as a volunteer organization consisting of current and alum parents and families, we strive to be inclusive and foster an environment where everyone's voice is heard. And our prayer. Almighty God, who has kept us in life, sustained us, and enabled us to reach this season, we offer our thanks. In the spirit of humble prayer, we also give thanks for our families, friends, and those who teach us your way. We thank you for the school, its staff, teachers, and students, and for all those who support its nurturing of excellence in learning sports, the arts, and in service. Amen.
For this, there we go. So here's our agenda for today. To start us off this evening, we have Suzanne Court from 96. Ooh,
I'll take it.
I should have mentioned this before. Hannah already is a past president, but Suzanne Court is our most recent past president. And she's going to come up here and talk a little bit about the mission and vision of this STEP Center before our key speaker later on comes on. So please welcome Suzanne.
Sorry. So thank you, everyone. I'm here to talk about the vision and mission of the STEP Center. So maybe I'll back up a little bit because Jen's seen this here is about community service and being in service. So the history of how I kind of got into community service was, there was an aha moment. I received a gift from Air Canada for having flown over 1 million miles. And it was this very lovely structure. It was like an airplane they gave me. It was like gigantic. Anyway, so I went home after that and I was kind of thinking about it and I thought, wow, okay, I've flown 1 million miles. What the heck does that mean, right? And so I asked my kids, I said, what does your, and they were little at the time, I said, what does your mother do? And they said, well, you give people jobs and you travel a lot, and you're always on the phone, but we're safe and secure. And I thought to myself, okay, that's really not what I want them to remember me for. So I started looking into things and I thought, well, how can I make other people feel safe and secure like my kids do? What can I offer to the community that allows kids to feel like they're heard and they belong and they have a voice and they do fit in? So I started doing some research in the community. I started interviewing homeless kids on the street, as well as my kids' friends, talking to them about what they thought they really needed, what would make their life different, what would make it feel more fulfilling, what would allow them to take those steps forward, because sometimes kids get stuck. We all do, even as adults, we get stuck. So what would help them move themselves forward? So really, in essence, it came down to, I need somebody to hear me, to see me, and to listen to me. And so I thought the best way to go about doing that was, one, to create a safe space for them first, and then to move from there to see what I could offer next. So we started a drop-in center, luckily just prior to COVID, where these kids can come. We used to get probably 40 to 50 kids a day that would come in. And it was way more than I expected. I didn't know that there was that many kids not going to school, not getting help, and just sort of wandering the streets during the day. And my big aha moment was when I was stopped at a stoplight downtown St. Catharines There was two young men by the library shooting drugs into their arms, and two police officers walked by, looked at them, looked away, and kept walking. And I was like, that's it. I can't see that and not do something about it. So the drop-in center carried on for about 3 years. And then we realized out of that, that the concern for these kids was really around their mental health, right? How to get them in the right frame of mind to think about going to school, to think about getting a job, right? Because those things weren't, their basic needs weren't met. And if you know Maslow's hierarchy, you gotta have your basic needs met first. You need a home, you need a roof over your head, you need food, and then you can start to move up that ladder of thinking about what you're gonna do next. So after 3 years, we offered school support, we offered counseling, we offered just a safe space to come and talk to somebody, to have some coffee. After that, we really started to notice that these kids, they weren't willing to take that step even though they were prepared. Some kids came and they finished high school, they only had 2 credits left, they finished, they then went on to college. Those were great success stories. But we still had about 30 kids who really didn't want to move that needle and they didn't want to carry on. So we looked at it and I pretty much said, okay, I think we need to just do full-time counseling because we need to help these kids wrap their minds around the fact that they do have value, that they can do things, that they do have gifts that they can't see right now. So for the past year, we opened a year ago, and Olivia's going to talk more about it, but we opened and we've had in a year 300 kids that have crossed our doorway, and now we have 100 kids that come every week. So, and these, my kids, of course, because they don't listen to their mother, they thought it was just homeless kids. And I said, no, these kids sit beside you in class. These kids you walk by in the hallway at school. Yes, we do have some kids, but they're not homeless. They have a roof. They either belong to Raft or they have somewhere, right? So we've been doing that now for a year, and we have 5 counselors on staff now, and we do not have wait lists for kids. So the issue in our community really wasn't around kids can get in and they can be seen, but they don't get their appointment sometimes for a year. And I don't know, for those of you who have teenagers, I know you know, teenagers will not wait a year to go talk to somebody. They won't even maybe wait a day, right? So we needed something that could get kids in quick. We wanted to reduce the waiting list at other organizations, and we didn't want parents to have to pay for it. We didn't think it was something that parents should have to pay for. And we also don't penalize kids if they don't show up and they cancel, and they can come as many times as they want. So there's no limit on the amount of times they come. And so I think we're doing a really good job. I hope we are. But yeah, and I think out of it all, I think really compared to, you know, and I had an amazing corporate career. I really enjoyed it. But I gotta tell you, this means the world. And it provides me, I think, with a little bit more humanness, a little bit more around trying to make a difference in the community and fix things. We have a tremendous amount of resources here, to the point where I'm going to tell you, a lot of places send kids to St. Catharines with a one-way bus pass, so they can't return back because they know our services here are so good. So our system is really taxed right now. And so anybody who does create something like this, or if you have a passion for something else, whether it's nutrition or sports, or it can be anything, right? Something you feel you're good at and something you can be passionate about, trust me, you can make a difference in someone's life. And I think that's the biggest gift, and the legacy that I'm going to be leaving for my kids is that they now come cut the grass there. They see the kids coming in, they, you know, so now they're a part of it, right? They do hygiene kits for kids, and they do this on their own now. Like 4 years ago, there'd be no way my kids would have done that, you know, so. Yeah.
Sorry, Suzanne, I have a question. So is there any way that you would allow some of our children to come into your center to actually be a part of it or witness it and make them want to be better?
Yeah, thank you, good question. So because it's counseling and it's one-on-one counseling, there's privacy. So I actually don't even go, right? So all my work I do is outside. The counselors are really the only people, like I'll go in when there's not appointments, but for the most part, because of privacy, I don't want to go in and maybe see someone's kid, right? And I don't want them then to go, oh gosh, Suzanne saw me, I can't go back, right?
But I know what Olivia did, is there like maybe?
Yeah, so we
anything
do,
else that-
yeah, we do, like, they just, I know you're gonna talk about it, so I'm not gonna steal your thunder. But yeah, there is a lot of things that can be done from the outside. I think the biggest gift would be to tell people we exist. I think that's the biggest thing, and it's word of mouth, getting people to understand that there is a service there where kids can go, and it really is completely anonymous, and you can get in right away, right? So I think the more, like I even said to my kids, just share it on your social media, right? Like, just pass it along. It's not necessarily for you, but you have no idea the kid sitting beside you in your class may really need help, right? And so the more you can share it and make it comfortable for people, because when I grew up, mental health was a bad word. You didn't go talk, you didn't air your dirty laundry, right? Well, you know what? We need to air it. People need the help.
Are all the schools like sharing this? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so through the DSBN, we have partnerships with Big Brothers, Big Sisters. We do get referrals from Past Stones, so we do have that in process. But it's difficult, you know, it's difficult getting kids in, yeah. It's called the STEP Empowerment Center. So STEP being, you gotta take that step. Yeah.
What are your age categories?
12 to 24. So youth under the definition is from 12 to 24. We are looking to hire a counselor for younger ages below 12, but 24 really is kind of the max, because at 18, they age out of the youth list in the community and they fall to the bottom of the adult list. And then you're trying to wait now as an 18-year-old to tick up the ladder to when it's your turn, right? And that could be 3 years, right? So it's just getting people in, and the more we can share it, the better it can be for the community, I think. So, sorry.
Up to here, so she's not so far around.
Well, thank you very much, Suzanne. That was very educational, and I think it's something that we all need to know about. So luckily, we have even more information about this tonight, because we have a key speaker, Olivia. Olivia Ulrich, sorry, I had to read my note there, who's going to be talking about her experience volunteering at the STEP Center. So please give her a warm welcome.
When the Family Guild asked me to speak with you tonight about my service experience at Ridley, I thought, well, how easy. For the past 12 years, I've been consumed in service at Ridley College and have lived the life of Terrar Dum Prosum. For 12 years, I've been a part of food drives, Terry Fox runs, Run for the Cure, gloves and mitten drives in lower school, and being a part of my family in upper school and all of our community service projects. It is part of our DNA at Ridley. It is what we do, and it is how we are guided to serve our community. As I began to think of these 12 years and how they are coming to an end, then my challenge was to reflect, what does Terrar Dum Prosum really mean to me? Dear parents, Family Guild executives, and Ridley College administrators, it is an honor to speak with you tonight about the impact community service has had on me at Ridley College. But I would also like to speak to the impact that mental health has had as well. To begin, although I have been involved in many projects at Ridley College, I've been most passionate about our Ridley College STEP Empowerment Center Community Service Club. In August 2022, my friends Lexi Thompson-Ferrucci and Avery Filardo and I started this club to support and fundraise for youth who need access to mental health services. We invited students to become a part of the club and provide a place to talk about mental health issues. Our goal was that whatever time we put into this club, our efforts would provide a direct impact. We reached out to Suzanne Court, the founder of the STEP Empowerment Center. The center, as she said, advocates and provides counseling and support services for youth in between the ages of 12 to 24, giving them hope and letting them learn their values. Learning how to make an impact in a person's life became our mission, and it also began to teach us why we serve at Ridley College. When we started, Avery and I took on the challenge of cleaning out their supply closet at the old center for a project at school. Our first thought, this would be an easy way to increase our community service hours, finish our school project, and it's perfect for us teenage girls, organizing closets. But this simple task turned out to be the inspiration why we were serving the center. Beyond just service hours, it was supporting a cause that had meaning. Seeing those kids that did not have the advantages of Avery and I changed the way I felt about serving. Supporting an organization where the minute a client walks in the door, counseling is available. Making wellness a plan, no matter where they come from or who they are. Inside these doors are a safe place for youth. Inside is a place where not being okay is okay, and a place where they are heard. This is a place kids have an opportunity to find a positive path forward in life, one that we all deserve. Service began to have more meaning for me. What service began to teach me was what advantages look like. We are blessed to be able to attend Ridley College and have homes and food on our table. We have mental health support right here on campus and have so many people who care about us. With advantages come the responsibility to serve others in need. At Christmas time, we began writing Christmas cards to kids at the center, reminding them that there was somebody thinking about them during the holidays, wishing them well and giving them hope for better days ahead. Every one of us can suffer from some type of mental health issue, life experiences, unexpected loss, or even the challenges of relocating from another country. Mental health does not just affect the poor or homeless. We think the face of mental health is obvious, the person you see on the streets, but it is not. Mental health is a part of daily life in every one of us. Until we change our thinking and educate ourselves in brain health, how can we possibly make a difference? That is where I began to understand that when we serve, it is an opportunity to not only make a difference in the lives around us, but also to make a change in our own lives. Change how we think and how we do. Talking about mental health can be uncomfortable. Seeing somebody disadvantaged can make us look the other way. It is time to change the way we think and act to it. Through service, I see a future where mental health becomes a way of life. Wellness and balance become normal. Just as you might walk into the office for a flu, we will walk into the office easily for our mental health issues. I see a future where we all have more access to therapy, where we are all covered by OHIP, and we live without fear of the stigma, and we advocate for each other in ways that creates wellness throughout the entire community. Abuse and trauma will happen, but having easy open doors and access will be the answer. Asking for help is a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness. That goal seems impossible, but it is achievable if we all work towards it together. Service at Ridley College means that we see a problem and we go out to find the solution. Mental health has stigma of weakness and the stigma of being less. It is hard to talk about mental health. It is hard to walk in the door of a therapist because you don't want your friends to know. To be judged, many sit in silence. For this presentation, I interviewed two people with two very different perspectives. One, a mother who tragically lost her son to mental health, and Kim Rosie, an executive at Pathstone Mental Health. In both interviews, the message was clearly spoken that we are not alone in this journey. I have come to understand through my own personal journey what the stigma of mental health can feel like and that I am not alone. I know for a fact, even with my advantages, I live with a physical reaction to stress and change. This reaction causes anxiety, physical symptoms, heaviness on my chest, shortness of breath, and fear. But until recently, I didn't share these things. I was afraid of being judged or labeled as weak, or maybe even worse. If I had said I had asthma or a heart condition, you would feel comfortable speaking to me about this. When behind the scenes, there are so many of us who struggle. Here at Ridley, we are provided with the ultimate in wellness training. PermaV, caring teachers, parents, but still, even with all of these resources, there will always be mental health challenges to overcome. Stress, overload, the high expectations at Ridley, success goals, and each of every one of us respond differently to that stress. It is time that we speak out about brain health and treat it as a medical condition, just like heart or lungs. Now, what do we do to make a direct impact, to make a difference? Thank you for supporting our service club, where we hosted a raffle and raised over $1,000 towards counseling at the STEP Empowerment Center. And recently, we collected for our clothing drive, which just ended on Friday, where over $300 was raised from community collections. Thank you all who cleaned out your closets, helping us collect 48 bags of clothing. Thank you for raising money and awareness for the center. One client at a time, one community member who needs our help, right where we stand. But there are other ways to change societal norms, changing the way we view mental health from within. I would like to ask you to do a quick exercise. It may feel uncomfortable, but I promise it won't hurt. When I give the word, look to the person to your left or right. Tell them how you feel today. Find a real feeling and don't lie. Okay, go ahead. Okay, how did that feel? It's not easy telling someone how you feel, especially if it's not happy, perfect, or all good. We don't take the time to get to know how we feel. We all have busy lives, and mental health can be pushed to the back burner. It's hard to say, I feel sad today, I feel lost, overwhelmed, or maybe even worse. It is okay to not be okay. Letting someone know how you feel shares the burden and opens conversation for better mental health. Learn to recognize stress and talk openly. Find ways to be kind and advocate for sharing. Be present, pay attention to those who are hurting in our daily lives. Service has taught me that we need to lean on each other. As part of belonging in this community, we need to be present, kind, and honest. When you find the real meaning of service, it will no longer be a check off the community service hours box. Instead of worrying about getting into a good university, the hours will mean something. They will connect us and they will make a difference. With advantages come a responsibility to bring equity and fairness to our community, to be consumed in service. Community service has been a personal journey, one where I have been part of a group of caring students who have bonded through service. We are learning how to take these lessons into the next chapters of our lives as we leave Ridley College. I thank Ridley College for providing me not only a great education, but one that teaches us community service and wellness every single day. And I thank the Ridley College Family Guild for their support and allowing me to speak today. At Ridley, there are counselors on every campus, lower school, middle school, and upper school, that have open door policies. Start the conversations with your children, that it's okay to walk in. Talk to your kids about being open-minded and supportive of others. If you see someone struggling, listen, making a difference in their lives. That is Tara Dunn Rosen to me. May we all be consumed in service. Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, please give her another round of applause. And I think it's a message that we all need to hear more often, so thank you for bringing that to us today. Now we're going to move on to our more boring stuff, which is the meeting part of this evening. So we're going to move on to our Secretary Nancy for the approval of the minutes.
If I could ask please for a motion to accept if there are no questions or corrections to be made. The meeting on September 18th, someone that was even in attendance, so we can watch by Charlene. And a second, please. All in favor?
And next, we're going to bring up our treasurer report from Jen Plus, please.
Hi, everybody. So two things today. First, last year's financial statements we finalized last year. So not too different from what we presented as draft. We had a lot of really successful events coming out of COVID, which is great. So thank you for everybody for your support. We ended up with $74,000 in total that we gifted back to the school. So thank you for your leadership last year, Suzanne. $40,000 in annual giving and 44 in scholarships and bursaries. So well ahead of the budget. So I need to ask for a motion, please, to accept the financial statements. You. And a second. Thank you, Hannah. All right. And for September, oh, all in favor, I'm so sorry. All in favor? Way too fast. More protected.
It's too late.
We want to- September, please. So in terms of September, we had a couple of events. The homecoming, huge success. We kind of budget for nominal revenue from that. And then the recycled clothing and the RCFG merchandise. So we're actually well ahead of budget for those programs. So we netted out at $1,866 as it stands for the month of September. So I do need a motion to accept September statements as well. And a second. And all in favor, I won't forget this time. Thank you.
Definitely get applause when we are ahead of budget.
If it's a loss,
I got it. And speaking of a couple of committee updates, I know Jen just touched on it, but just want to take a quick minute to say some thank yous. First of all, we had our homecoming, and that is always heavily reliable volunteers. So thank you so much for everyone who made that happen, who dedicated their time to come out for that. It was a successful event. It was a smaller year this year, so despite that, we did great, and it was a nice sunny day, so no complaints there. As well, we had our Designer Purse Bingo just on Saturday, and it was a sold-out event as always. So again, reminder for next year, get those tickets early or you're going to lose out. But I know we're still running up the numbers, but the rumor is that we are having another record-breaking year for that. So I know both that Krista and Joe are not here tonight, but it's them and it's their team of volunteers and Charmaine leading the decorating committee. So again, let's just give them a warm applause because it's a lot of work that goes into it and it was a great event. Thank you very much. And then finally, we had our food drive, which Lipsika made sure to set up. And I know all the parents here were donating food, and I hear that was a successful collection as well. So thank you for everyone who donated to that. Mr. Kitt, did you want to say something? You're good? Okay, all right, we're not quite sure. So, okay, so then we're gonna move on to our upcoming events. We have lots of fun things going on. Again, for starters, we have our Halloween parade and trick-or-treating happening on November 27th. That is school events, but the Guild will be there to be a part of the parade, and you're more than welcome to come out as well and watch the kids come down in their costumes. And if you want to join us in costumes, you're more than welcome to do that as well. In addition to that, we have our Christmas skate and raffle, which is happening on December 20th. But the reason that I'm mentioning it now is because we are accepting donations. Suzanne, do you want to say something really quickly about that?
Okay.
Yeah?
Sure. Hi, everyone. So normally we do a Christmas market, but until the field house is done, we've been doing a Christmas raffle. So what we're looking for is people who would like to sponsor a prize. We make like prize packages, and then we put a whole bunch of stuff in that prize package, and then the winner gets a really nice prize. So anybody who's looking to maybe make a donation, who's interested, if you have a business you'd like to advertise, if you just have a great heart and you want to donate something, by all means, you can reach out to myself or Winnie, and we will be putting that together. We do need to know by
Thursday. 26th.
26th.
So don't delay.
If you are interested.
Yes.
It depends. Usually I try to make the packages in and around like $1,500 to $2,000 worth of value. So it really depends. Like one prize last year, I think it had hockey tickets and basketball tickets, and that was it, because those are like high-priced items. But really, we try to fill it with a bunch of stuff. So if a family gets it. So this year we have a sports package, we have a family package, which really anything can go into. We have a date night for two in Toronto package. We have what else is there? Something else, I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, and so we just kind of find a way to fit stuff in if people give it to us. So gift certificates are great, but really anything we're more than happy and thankful for.
Sorry, do we already have the info of the categories? So if someone wanted to donate wine for the family thing or movie passes for
I didn't bring it today, but.
Yeah, it's in the newsletter.
Yes.
Did it already go out, the newsletter?
Yeah, I think it did.
Okay, so in the newsletter, there's a thing on the raffle. If you scroll down and hit the thing, there's the letter, and it'll spell out like packages. But quite honestly, if you have something to donate, trust me, I will find a creative way to make it fit, so.
We accept it all.
The more the merrier. Yeah, yeah, so.
Thank you. Yeah, that's perfect. And thank you. And again, just remember to mark those dates in your calendar as well. That's more important, because it is a fun family event. It's a skate. It's obviously a fundraiser as well, but it is a really great opportunity to get together with everyone before the holiday season. And I know that's crazy to say because we're nowhere near December, but put those dates in your calendar and plan ahead. In addition to that, speaking of December, we also have the 9 Lessons and Carol coming up, and we will be hosting a guild reception after the 17th of that one, so put that one in your calendar as well. More sooner than that, that's coming up, is our book fair. We have Tatiana, who is here leading the book fair again for the school, and I know that she's pretty good on volunteers, but there may be 1 or 2 more spots needed, so if anyone has a dire need to be a part of it, definitely go on Sign Up Genius and take a look at that too, or go talk to Tatiana, who is right down there. Let's see, okay. Double checking my list here that I got it on. Oh, and Rub is still open for business. Rub is our recycled uniform store, which is down in the basement. They do have set hours. If you need to make an appointment, go on Sign Up Genius as well, and you can make an appointment with them. I know that especially for upper school students, there's a lot of stuff coming up, like cadet stuff. So you might need some more stuff. So don't be scared to reach out and get all of that good stuff, because it is supporting us 100%. All the proceeds goes to kids, goes to the children. Don't forget about that. And in addition to that, our next meeting will be on November 20th, and it will be a special one. So to talk about that one, we have a shoebox project collection going on, and Emma Maxis should be here. Emma here? They're here? Okay, perfect. They're gonna come and talk to us about this so that we can all prepare for the next meeting. So Emma and her club, please come up.
Welcome. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for having us today. My name is Caitlin, and this is Claire and Charlize, and today we're going to be sharing a little bit about our club, Ridley Women in Leadership. Okay, so today our plan is to quickly run through our PowerPoint about how our partnership with the Shoebox Project and how you can get involved.
Okay, so starting off, on the slides you can see a little bit about the Shoebox Project. So basically our goal with the Shoebox Project is to work to bring homeless women some beautiful gift boxes around the holidays with everything from necessities to like self-care items, just to kind of brighten up the season for them.
The goal of this service project is to share empathy, kindness, and compassion with homeless women in the region. So how do you make a shoebox?
Shoeboxes are made out of standard-sized shoeboxes and should be unsealed. They should contain must-haves like shampoo or toothbrushes, but also little luxuries like face masks or nail polish.
Yeah, so you can also include little handwritten notes, just wishing them like happy holidays, and yeah.
There are some items that you don't want to include, so you can see them up above. This is just to make sure everybody feels comfortable with whatever they get and it's like inclusive to everybody.
Stay tuned for further information. We plan to email you all with more details about how we will plan to organize Ridley's contribution to our project.
Yeah, and so if you have any questions about the PowerPoint, about the project, how you contribute, just please feel free to email any of us or Emma.
And this is an example of like what a shoebox will look like, so that guild meeting will be meeting. We're just gonna put together little things. So this is all we need from you guys, just to bring objects to fill the boxes, and we'll supply all the boxes in tissue paper. So your contribution will be great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So a reminder, that is happening for the next meeting, which is taking place on November 20th. And we'll email out those details, as the ladies were saying, about what you can start collecting. And then start bringing it in, and we hope that you will all sign up for that next one, because it is a fun little social. We'll sit and put them together, and yeah, and that'll be a little hurrah before the holidays as well. So I think that is it for this meeting. Anyone have any questions before we adjourn? No? All right, so motion to adjourn? Do I get a motion to adjourn? Okay, yeah. Charmaine, and second by Jen. Perfect. All in favor? All right, let's go home.